All right, guys, let's talk about accuracy. Once you get your barrel, the best barrel out there, for me, accuracy is very, very important. I use a ball action. All my pebble markers are ball action. So I'm trying to limit my shooting and get my target. So for that, I want to get the best equipment that's out there. So for me, through the scope, barrel, and marker, everything has to work at the same time and together, to get the best. For me, I had to align my barrel, my scope, and my weapon has to align perfect fine. Even if I don't get I get the best shot. Once I know my equipment is perfect, I just work in my shooting. So the way I do my things is almost the same way when you do the real scope, which I'll get the paper in the wall, line out the crosshairs and everything. But the closest possible for paintball, you can get away with a nice grouping. That's what you're looking for. If your scope is not aligned with your platform, and if it's a little bit twist, a little bit any left or right, you will shooting a little bit to the left, up, a little bit. It depends. Even if you line up your scope perfect, but it's not lined up with the marker, you will be all over the place. Now, and the further the shot, the more you notice the shot. You will be blending the barrel, blending something else, okay? So when you buy a scope, don't just throw it in there hoping you got, oh, I got this, I got Supremacy Scope. That's it, everybody's gonna die. If you don't know how to install it, I don't know if Dave's take his time to align the everything, but you should double check because you got your equipment. It's not his job to line up everything for you. So at the same time, it's not his job to his job is to get you the best equipment there. After that, this is your job to line up everything and get the right combination. If he's can I say you can have the best scope. You can have a crappy barrel, it will not work. You know what I mean? So for me, in a long range, I always prefer 20-inch barrels with Supremacy Scope. So what I mean in 20-inch, only if I'm going 20-inch barrel, I only go with the Nemesis barrels. No, nothing else. Once I'm going down there, below that, I got different options, but now with the new barrels that are coming out with the low twist, now it's a game changer. Now you can go back a little bit and still get the best performance, the same performance. So now it's a little bit different in the small barrel. So you can go small now. So the way I do this, my scope is loose. If you notice that, I cannot just eyeball it and tight it and hope for the best. It's not gonna work for me. So I got three points to ensure myself I'm completely level. Point number one, I want to make sure my marker is level because my table is not, my floor is not. So my marker is level. I double check with an extra, make sure everything is level. So everything looks like level. Okay. So once I'm right there, I check the other scope, the other then I make sure it's level. So everything looks like a square on. So maybe I can pick them up a little bit here. So you have to always start there before you work on your scope. Make sure your marker is level. That's just not level. I got 3 points because I want to make sure I'm not moving at all. Once I install on this guy, okay, everything looks good. Okay, now we work with the scope. The scope is not level at all, and even in my eyeball, it looks beautiful. But it's really has to twist that way, really, really bad. So if I'm just using eyeball it, right now it will be all over the place. So now my first thing is your Supremacy Scope has a lot of numbers in here, the down up, and so the same numbers apply in here. So you don't have to worry about that once if you cover it. So for now, we're gonna level that scope before we start tightening. So carefully, which I'm moving anything, we are going to level the scope the closest as possible. Like I say, the best method to get the right dead on, it will be if you have the board in the wall turn off your light, shoot a light through the scope, and line up your scope through the paper you're gonna have on the wall. Line up over there. The border has to be really level, and that will help you out. Once the marker's level, you level with that, and that's it, you're good to go. But right now, because I don't want to go through the whole, turn off the lights and everything, I'm just gonna do it through the level. And I'm right there, double check right there, double check right here, everything is good. Everything looks what I want. The scope looks perfect what I want to have. So carefully, which I'm moving anything, we are going to tie zigzag, okay? Don't tie to the other side and come back to the side. You have to go like across, like this way and this way, okay? So what I'm going to do, I want the same way in the back and in front. So just snag a little bit just to keep it in there. Now we switch this one. And keep an eye on your things. Make sure they don't move. And now we start the opposite. This job you only have to do it once. It's up to you if you want to do it a couple times. If you swap the scope different markers, you know, that's up to you. But usually I do it once and then that's it, leave it alone. Once you start getting snug, now you know now you're safe to torque it. Usually you torque this in the real guns, but then paintball just knock the screws. You know what I mean? Make sure they don't move. You don't have to torque it anymore. I don't know the pounds of torque they use for these guys, but I'm just gonna make sure that it's not, that thing is not gonna move on me, and good to go. And after this, now you go and zero in your scope. If you don't know how to zero your scope, I will make another video. You zeroing the scope and using the HHA optimizer with numbers that on the left side, all over in the back, because I'm going to shoot at 280. So it will be, if I'm using the optimizer, it will be, it's 4 sets of numbers in your scope. You will using the left all over to the end. That will be your numbers for the HHA active. Active, that means all the way down. This is active. So now your numbers on the left side will work. So I will make another video how you guys supposed to use that with this scope. All right, we are good now. So that's just it. That's all you do, is make sure that you don't miss anything, and your scope is perfectly lined up with the marker. All right. If you got any questions, let me know, brother.